Mike Brown has just called out De'Aaron Fox. As we all know, this Kings season has been an absolute roller coaster, and Mike Brown has some answers in regards to what De'Aaron Fox can do in order to improve the fortunes of this team. But this wasn't the only calling outs. The Mike Brown one wasn't a roast, but De'Aaron Fox certainly roasted Draymond Green in a recent interview and recent discussions about his complaining and just nonsense that he gets on with out there on the basketball court, which I personally love to see. So lots of stuff to break down in this video. But before we do, folks, again, if you guys are a part of the 83% of our viewers that haven't hit the subscribe button just yet, and you want to stay up to date with daily Sacramento Kings coverage, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a single thing that's going on with this Kings team. But let's dive into the news. Let's dive into what's happening with this team right now. And the first thing we're taking a look at is De'Aaron Fox roasting Draymond Green. Lots of call outs, lots of discussions, lots of chatter happening around the Sacramento Kings squad. We got something a little bit lighter, a little bit more fun here to start off this video. As we all know, Draymond Green, he is just a nuisance to play against, annoying presence out there. I know there are some overlapping Kings and Warriors fans, the Bay Area, all that type of stuff, yada, yada, yada. But basically, Draymond Green, diehard Kings fans, they're out there. There's not a lot of them that are big fans of Draymond. So that's the reality of what's going on out here. De'Aaron Fox is in a similar boat to a lot of Sacramento Kings fans. It's basically, when Fox was asked about the biggest complainers in the NBA, he says, Draymond will clothesline you, then look at the ref like, hey, what did I do? What did I do here? And I don't know. I just love this from De'Aaron Fox coming out, calling out one of the, close proximity rivals out there at Golden State, a team that the Kings faced off against the playoffs a couple seasons ago in a very crazy first round matchup. So, the Kings, Draymond Green, there's a little rivalry there. There's a little bit of beef, and I'm liking that De'Aaron Fox is willing to push some buttons, escalate some of the things that are going on out there with this quote. And Draymond Green honestly deserves all the roasts that he has coming to him with the nonsense he gets on out there with the basketball court. Obviously a phenomenal defender, a great basketball player and stuff, but I don't know. I like seeing De'Aaron Fox poke some jabs out there at Draymond Green, and when asked about the biggest complainers in the NBA. But the list could be very, very long. I like that Draymond Green was put at the top of it, but more interesting call out, more relevant to Kings fans, is Mike Brown calling out the Kings star De'Aaron Fox. So obviously De'Aaron Fox is the guy for Sacramento. It's a bonus to roast it. It's a big three there in terms of guys that get buckets. Malik Monk's been great. Keegan Murray is obviously a crucial piece when he's playing well. There's a lot of top tier guys, top caliber players on this Kings roster, but De'Aaron Fox is the head of the snake, so to speak. He's been a player that's most crucial to this squad's fortunes. When he's playing well, he can really just change everything for the Sacramento Kings team, and Mike Brown understands this, and we've seen De'Aaron Fox, like this Kings team, have some highs, some lows, some good games, some bad games, and just some moments where he is ultra locked in. Something happens, something fires him up, and he is just ready to go, ready to send a message, ready to just dominate whatever game, whatever opponent he's faced up against. From his rookie season, battling with Lonzo Ball, to now De'Aaron Fox can on any given night really go crazy. But there are nights where he, I don't want to say takes his foot off the gas, takes a step back or anything like that, but doesn't play at that same intensity. It's that same level. And I think this is something that might get a little bit overstated, but Mike Brown wasn't holding back words in regards to how De'Aaron Fox can change his mentality, can change his focus to really help out this Kings team, help out this Kings roster. It's basically, he came out and said in a recent quote that you've got to figure out how to get to that level without having someone piss you off, because you are a great player, and great players get to that level out there on their own. Maybe there's a 5-year-old kid that has an opponent's jersey on that's not yours. That should piss you off. That should fire you up. And that's something that has Mike Brown really fired up, because, again, we know De'Aaron Fox by no means is someone, the reason the Kings have been struggling this season. Looking at his stats, 27 points per game, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, shooting 36% from the three-point line. The corner three percentage is a little bit rough, but only 26 years old still. Feels like he's been in the NBA forever, but 1.7 steals per game. De'Aaron Fox is establishing himself as, has already established himself as an upper tier point guard in the NBA, but really this season individually has been playing at that all-star, all-NBA caliber level, and is one of the best guards in the NBA. Kings fans have known this for a very long time, but again, certain nights De'Aaron Fox is just dominant, really just frustrating, unmanageable for other teams to really focus in on, lock in on, and some nights he's taking that little step back. And the reality is right now, with how the Kings are kind of set up and why Mike Brown is making this statement, making this call out happen, because this isn't an egregiously just disrespectful or, hey, your top stars are working hard, or De'Aaron Fox needs to lock in. It's not something like that, but it is saying, De'Aaron Fox, we need you to get to that next level on every single game. And that's the reality of the situation, because Fox, if he's playing like a top 10 player on any single night, because we can. We know when he's at that sort of mentality, when he's just having those types of games, he is a top 10 level talent out there in the NBA. I'm not saying he's you do the NBA rankings right now because consistency and stuff, he's in the top 10, but he has that top 10 level talent, right? I don't think anyone that's watched Kings games can argue against that. But Mike Brown's just trying to get this man to really be as locked in, as fired up as possible, because this is exactly what Sacramento needs in the coming weeks, right? Brown, the Monte McNair, everyone is trying out some different stuff. There's different moves being made, right? We saw Malik Monk get inserted to the starting lineup. We've seen Isaac Jones come out and say, hey, you are a rotation piece now. Like, unfortunately, Keon Ellis is out of the rotation now at this point, but the Kings are trying desperately to figure this thing out. But really, all roads that, the most reliable road for the Kings to get some wins over the next stretch of games, because the Western Conference, despite the seeding position of the Kings right now, it is still very, very tight for this team. And De'Aaron Fox going absolutely nuclear, as we've seen him do already this season, that is going to be the number one recipe for success. Him coming out and having that top 10 level, MVP level season for Sacramento, which it is a high ask. It's high expectations. It is a big, big request for Mike Brown, for Kings fans, for De'Aaron Fox to take that level of leap. But we're seeing it, right? I'll bring up his stats once again. De'Aaron Fox is kind of there, right? 27 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists. De'Aaron Fox is already close to that level, but it's just night in, night out. If he's able to really lock it in and every single game just put up those 30 pieces, those 30 bombs, the same way Russell Westbrook kind of did for the Oklahoma City Thunder when Kevin Durant left for the Golden State Warriors. There's more talent on this Kings roster around De'Aaron Fox than what Russell Westbrook had out there at that point. So it's a high ask. It's unreal. Maybe it's unrealistic. Maybe it's a big, big thing, but I don't know. I'm just a believer in De'Aaron Fox to be able to take his game to the next level. I've seen some Kings fans be like, hey, Mike Brown, what are you doing calling out our top guy, our lead man, or this is just going to frustrate him, especially with his, contract up in the air in terms of the future. He hasn't signed an extension. Are we trying to rock the boat? But frankly, I think it's a smart move. Rock that boat. When you're the, 12th seed in the Western Conference, 13th seed, you got to rock some boats. So you got to really make sure that this thing gets shaken up into gear, especially when you have the level of talent that this Kings roster has on the team here now at this point. So I don't know. I don't mind what Mike Brown said. I think it's a positive here out there for this team, but we'll see how things end up actually shaking out. But I'm happy, De'Aaron Fox did call out Draymond Green. That's one that's definitively positive for the Kings team. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below about this whole situation. Anyways, you guys best think as far. Subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already. I'm signing out. Cheers.